Hi y'all, it's Belle. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have another book haul. So I'm very excited about all of these books. I'll start with ones that were sent to me, which isn't that many for this one. We have the Order of Time. This book is currently out. And the second book comes out January 20th, I believe it is. And these are by Scott P. Southall. Anastasia and Edward Upton are 11-year-old twins who are different in almost every way. Despite this, they are inseparable and the best of friends. They tackle the highs and lows of 6th grade together, whether they are fending off bullies at the elite Blake Academy or examining rare antiques at the Smithsonian Museum of Natural History. Then, life gets complicated. They discover that their friend and mentor, Dr. Gregorian, is part of a secret society called the Order of Time. It turns out that time is not fixed. It's a fluid continuum where changes to the past can create ripples all the way through to the present. It unwittingly falls to the twins to travel back through time to ancient Egypt, where they must overcome deadly assassins, evil high priests, and vengeful gods in order to prevent disaster. Together, Anastasia and Edward must navigate all obstacles, preserve the past, and find their way back home. All that just sounds, and then twins, all that just sounds incredible. So I'm very excited for these. Thank you so much to the author for sending them to me. Editing me, I just wanted to let y'all know that there's a giveaway for these two books over on my Instagram right now. It lasts till Monday night, so if y'all are interested in these, I'd head on over there and enter the giveaway. The link to my Instagram is below. Next, I'm going to do all the sequels that I've gotten. Frankenstiltskin, part of the Fairy Tales Gone Bad. This is the second book. It's by Joseph Coelho. And I believe I showed the first one in another video, but this one is in black and white as well. And just full of so since these are sequels, I'm not going to read synopsis. These just sound like fun, quick reads and like a different take on fairy tales, which I always enjoy. And we have Otto, Bloom and the Enchanted Coin by Estelle Grace Tudor. And this is the 5th and final book in the Through the Fairy Door series. And like I've said before, this is an amazing series. Sad it's ending, but I love this series so much, so I can't wait to get to this. We have the next book in the Christmasaurus series by Fletcher. This one's called The Christmasaurus and the Naughty List. And I love the other books in this series. I read them last Christmas and they're just so cute and fun and quick and full of illustrations. And this is the naked hardback. So you can see some. I'm very excited to read this closer to Christmas time. So excited for this. It's Theodora and the Curious Case of the Cursed Beetle by Jordan Kopy, or Kopy. And I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, so hopefully I am. This is the second book. I absolutely loved the first book, so I'm so excited this is out now. And I can't wait to read it soon. And it's full of illustrations. And they're definitely perfect for spooky season. And they're full of great illustrations. So excited to get back into this. And then I got some sequels to some series I haven't read yet or started, but I want to read them very soon, and they were at great prices that I didn't want to miss. So I got this book, and I think this is the second one. I got the first one last year, and this would be another great one for spooky season. And I think the first one was Witches, so I'm excited to have this one. And I got Lily's Dream by Judi, Curtin. They just look right at my alley, and like I'm gonna absolutely love them. So when I saw this for a good price, I snapped it up, because I think these are Ireland releases, so they can sometimes get up there. So anytime I see a book I want for a better price, I snap it up. A Secret in Time by Sally Nicholls. Bigger print, fun, quick reads, full of amazing illustrations. I'm very excited for these. These just sound just phenomenal, even the chapter headings. So I'm very excited. We have the second in this series, Roxy and Jones series. Look at that. This one's called The Curse of the Gingerbread Witch. This is by Angela Woolfe. And we have a gorgeous second book. It just screams fall to me with these colors in the back. This is by Rowan and You by Melissa Harrison. The first book was called By Ash, Oak, and Thorn. This one even says As Autumn Arrives, so yeah, this is a perfect fall read. There's the hidden folk and friendship. Just from the description, it'll be very atmospheric. So I'm very excited. So that's all the sequels. This is Thursday's Child by Noel Streatfeild. And the companion or sequel, Far to Go. Still haven't read anything by her, but I have a few of her books now, and I just know she's going to be just someone I love. And this is the first one. Margaret Thursday was named after the day she was found on the church steps as a baby. Each year a bag of gold coins is left for her keep, but when the money suddenly stops, Margaret's guardians are forced to send her away to a terrible orphanage. Vowing to protect her new friends, Peter and Horatio, Margaret plans their daring escape, but she'll have to outwit the evil matron at every turn. I'm excited to finally have these. I've been wanting them for so long. And then last weekend, I think it was, we went to a nearby city where we live, obviously, and I was returning some Bath & Body Works candles. Exchanged, actually I didn't just return them, I got ones that I know I like. And while I was in there, it's inside a mall, I went to Books A Million. And I bought 3 books. First is, it says Bad Babysitters, but bad is crossed out. Best Bad Babysitters Ever. This is by Caroline Kalla. And it mentions the Babysitters Club, and they're ripping off that idea, and I grew up on Babysitters Club and I absolutely loved it, so that had me intrigued from the start. Once upon a time, a girl named Christy Thomas had a great idea to form the Babysitters Club with her best friends. Yay. And now 12-year-old Malia Twiggs has a great idea too. Technically, she has Christy's idea. And technically, little kids seem gross and annoying, but a paycheck is a paycheck. After a little convincing, Malia and her friends Dot and Bree start a babysitting club to pay for an epic birthday bash. But babysitting definitely isn't what they thought it would be. 3 friends, no parents, unlimited snacks, and okay, occasionally watching other people's children. What could possibly go wrong? I was excited to snag this up. And then I'm so intrigued by this author because I love spooky middle grade, and I bought one of her new releases recently, The 13th Cat, I think it was called. So I saw these, and they looked right up my alley, so I snagged them up. By Mary Downing Hahn, and this one's One for Sorrow. That cover. Says A Ghost Story. And then Witch Catcher, and it says Page Turning Suspense. So One for Sorrow says, when a former friend turns into a vengeful ghost, will Annie survive? During the 1918 influenza epidemic, new girl Annie is claimed as best friend by Elise, the tattletale, liar, and thief of the class. But Annie would rather spend time with the other girls. When Elsie dies of influenza, Annie thinks she's finally free of her torment, until the bully returns to reclaim Annie's friendship and take revenge. Well, that just sounds creepy and spooky. I'm all about it. And then Witchcatcher says, when her widowed father inherits a castle-like estate in the mountains of West Virginia, 12-year-old Jen is thrilled. It seems like a wish come true. But she quickly realizes that not all change is positive. Her dad has a mysterious new girlfriend, Maura, who slowly drives a wedge between Jen and her father. Furthermore, Maura has an unusually strong, even obsessive interest in antiques that fill the old mansion, especially a beautiful glass globe that Jen finds hanging in a window. When Jen's cat accidentally breaks the globe, which Maura calls a witch catcher, strange things begin to happen. An odd-looking girl wearing a torn dress appears, seemingly out of nowhere, and Maura's behavior becomes more sinister. Soon Jen finds herself caught in the midst of a supernatural war, with the fate of an enchanted race and that of her family at stake. I'm so intrigued by that synopsis, so I'm so excited to have gotten these. And then the only graphic novel, I believe, in this haul is a Secret Garden retelling, The Secret Garden on 81st Street. By Ivy Noel Ware. Some of the art. Video games and tech are loner Mary Lennox's main source of entertainment and friends in her Silicon Valley home. But when her parents are killed in a tragic accident, Mary's life is uprooted to New York City to live with an uncle who she barely knows, and to her surprise, keeps a gadget-free home. Looking for comfort in this strange new reality, Mary discovers an abandoned rooftop garden and an even bigger secret in an upstairs bedroom. Her cousin, Colin, who struggles with anxiety. With Colin's help and that of a new friend named Dickon, Mary works to restore the garden to its former glory while also learning to grieve, build real friendships, and nurture growth, both in nature and in herself. So that sounds incredible. Can't wait to see this author's take on it. We have Following Frankenstein, Catherine Bruton. And I read another twist in the tale by her after I read Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens, and I really loved that, so I cannot wait to read this. Maggie's father has dedicated his life to a single pursuit, hunting down the monster created by Victor Frankenstein. It has cost Maggie and her family everything, and now her father is staking everything on one last voyage to the Arctic, with Maggie secretly in tow, where he hopes to find the monster at last. So very intrigued by this, and I can't wait to read more from this author. We have Faceless by Catherine Lasky. Over the centuries, unbeknownst to all, a small clan of spies has worked ceaselessly to fight oppression. They're called the Tabula Rasa. They can pass unseen through enemy lines, eavesdrop on conversations, and become other people without being recognized. They are essentially faceless. Alice and Louise Winfield are sisters and spies in the Tabula Rasa. They're growing up in wartime England, where the threat of Nazi occupation is ever near. But Louise wants to live an ordinary life, and she tires of spy missions. When she leaves the agency, Alice must face her most dangerous assignment yet without her sister at her side. As Alice prepares for her new mission, she must head into Hitler's inner sanctum to Germany to report on the Nazis. She fears the threat of discovery, but worst of all, she fears losing her own sister. So I love historical fiction and anything about World War II and all of that. I'm very excited for this. You have The Dream Weavers. Beautiful cover. By G.Z. Schmidt. May and Yan Wu have always been different from the other kids in the village. They've learned not to talk about why. But now, as this year's Mid-Autumn Festival approaches, the 12-year-olds find that they are exactly like everyone else, bursting with excitement. That's because word of their grandfather's incredible mooncakes has reached the Emperor of China himself. And on festival night, the Emperor's son will arrive to sample Grandpa's mooncakes and report back to His Majesty. The twins can hardly dare to dream what might come of the prince's praise. Unfortunately, when disaster strikes on the big night, what happens in the aftermath is the stuff of nightmares. May and Young are suddenly left to rescue both their grandfather and their village from a terrible fate. And while the twins have always been able to count on each other, this situation, steeped in ancient magic and tales of curses and revenge, is exactly the sort that's powerful enough to snap the ties that bind. So intrigued. I can't wait for that. And we have another one that sounds perfect for spooky season. Hag Storm by Victoria Williamson. The witches are gathering. 12-year-old Rob spends all of his time doing backbreaking work on his family's farm instead of attending school. But when he finds a hag stone in one of the fields, everything changes. Looking through its circular hole, he sees witches gathering in a coming storm, and they've set their sights on his family. Can Rob save his sisters from the clutches of the witches' coven before their Halloween ceremony in the old kirk? Yeah, that definitely sounds perfect for spooky season. Witches and Halloween, so very excited for that. We have The Sound of Freedom by Anna Murtaugh. It's spring 1919, and Ireland's War of Independence has broken out. In a cottage in country Westmeath, 13-year-old Colm Kennelly longs to join the local volunteers, the Rainbow Chasers, who are fighting for an Ireland freedom from English rule. But Colm has another ambition too, to make a new life in America, working as a fiddle player and involved in the Republican movement there. When spirited Belfast girl Alice McCluskey, who speaks Irish, shares his love of Irish music, and is committed to the cause, arrives in town, Colm's dreams take a new turn. Where will his talent lead him, and how will a long-held family's secrets shape his future? Another Ireland story and historical fiction. Sounds incredible. We have one of my most highly anticipated releases. Some of these are, and I'm forgetting to say that, but this one definitely high anticipated release. 7, Where With Away by Samantha Ellen Bown. Celeste is having the worst summer ever. Her parents are off on an adventure, and she's stuck at Graham's house with her annoying little sister Esme, and strict instructions to be responsible. Or, as Esme says, boring. So when their eccentric cousin Ferd crash lands a flying bus in the yard, what choice does Celeste have but to follow Ferd back home to 7 Wherewithal Way? Wherewithal, Ferd's house, and the gateway to the many realms unreachable from Earth, is bursting with magic and mystery and otherworldly creatures. It's Celeste's favorite place in any world. But when something tries to break in through the portal in the pantry, the door to the mystical realm of forest, Celeste learns that both Wherewithal and her beloved cousin are under threat. If Celeste wants to save her cousin, their home, its inhabitants, and possibly even all the realms, she is going to have to find her adventurous side fast. That sounds phenomenal, and I'm so excited. We have another Christmas read, The Christmas Carols, by Mel Taylor Besant. Meet the Christmas Carols. For Holly Carroll and her family, every day is Christmas. Obsessed with spreading cheer 365 days a year, they live their merriest lives in a house full of multicolored fairy lights, a carol singing toilet, and a diva donkey that thinks he's a reindeer. When they move house, Holly can't wait to start her new school, but her Santa backpack is getting odd looks, the class aren't joining in her loud morning carols, and even her new friend Archer thinks she should tone down the tinsel. Is the world's most Christmassy girl about to lose her Christmas spirit? That sounds so good. And there's illustrations throughout too, which look beautiful. Excited to read this closer to Christmas. Can't wait. The Santa List by Karen Crowley. Will they save Christmas in time? Aislinn and Joe are in serious trouble. Mrs. Girl, the strictest babysitter ever, has put them on Santa's naughty list. They need to take action, otherwise they might be in for a Christmas with no presents. But as their attempts at changing fate go from bad to worse, the unimaginable happens. Santa's nice list is lost. Have they just ruined Christmas for everyone? They're going to need a Christmas miracle. And this one just looks like a quick read full of illustrations too. Can't wait to read this closer to Christmas. Another very highly anticipated release, Dust and Grim by Chuck Wendig. Gorgeous illustrations above the chapter heading. Rival siblings running a funeral home for monsters. What could go wrong? I'm already in love with this. 13-year-old Molly doesn't know how she got the short end of the stick, being raised by her neglectful father. While Dustin, the older brother she's never met, got their mother and the keys to the family estate. But now the siblings are both orphaned. Molly's come home for her inheritance, and if Dustin won't welcome her in the family business, then she'll happily take her half in cash. There's just one problem. The family business is a mortuary for monsters, and Molly's not sure how to deal with mysterious doors, talking wolves, a rogue devourer of magic, and a secret cemetery. It's going to take all of Dustin's stuffy supernatural knowledge and Molly's most heroic cosplay, plus a little help from non-human friends, for the siblings to save the day, if only they can get along for 5 minutes. Unique sibling story, intriguing synopsis, a monster family bit. Like, I'm so excited. Can't wait. And then another very highly anticipated release, The Troubled Girls of Dragomir Academy by Anne Ursu. If no one notices Maria Lupu, it's likely because of her brother Luca, and that's because of what everyone knows. Luca is destined to become a sorcerer. The Lupus might be from a small village far from the capital city, but that doesn't matter. Every young boy born in Elria may possess the rare ability to will magic to protect the country from the terrifying force known only as the Dread. For all the hopes the family has for Luca, no one has any for Maria, who can never seem to do anything right. But even so, no one is prepared for the day that the sorcerers finally arrive to test Luca for magical ability, and Maria makes a terrible mistake. Nor the day after, when the Lupus receive a letter from a place called Dragomir Academy, a mysterious school for wayward girls. Girls like Maria. Soon she is 100 miles from home in a strange and unfamiliar place, surrounded by girls she's never met. Dragomir Academy promises her and her classmates a chance to make something of themselves in service to one of the country's most powerful sorcerers. But as they learn how to fit into a world with no place for them, they begin to discover things about the magic the men of their country wield, as well as the dread itself, things that threaten the precarious balance upon which their country is built. It sounds so good. Then we have this beautiful book, Ghost Cloud, by Michael Mann. The naked hardcover. Kidnapped and forced to shovel coal underneath a half-bombed blackened power station, 12-year-old Luke discovers he can see things others can't. Ghostly things. He befriends a ghost girl called Alma, who can ride clouds through the night sky and bend their shape to her will. With Alma's help, Luke discovers he is, in fact, a rare being, half human and half something else. Then Luke learns the terrible truth of why children are being kidnapped and forced to work in the power station, and he becomes even more desperate to escape. Can Luke find out who he is while trying to find freedom? Sounds perfect and like a one for spooky season as well. Very excited for this. We have Archibald Finch and the Lost Witches. Mikhail Guyan. Archibald Finch is a lonely boy with quirks that earn him plenty of eye rolls, especially from his older sister Haley. Things get worse when his parents move the family from London to his grandmother's old manor in the English countryside. Now he has to deal with hairless dolls in the library, weird stone creatures on the roof, and a spooky forest at the edge of the backyard. But these turn out to be the least of Archibald's problems. One day, while exploring the cavernous house, he stumbles upon the ancient globe that whisked him into the unknown. Next stop, the Moria, a land of small wonders and great perils, where a battle born in the Middle Ages pits light against darkness, magic against fire. Befriended by a band of young witches with extraordinary powers, Archibald must learn their secrets to survive this cursed world and the strange beasts that roam it. Meanwhile, back in London, Haley embarks on a quest of her own. Having witnessed her brother's bizarre disappearance, she's determined to find him and bring him back home. Worlds apart, yet traveling along a parallel course, the siblings are thrust into a centuries-old conflict involving medieval sorcery, mysterious symbols, and legends all too real. Will they uncover what dark magic has split them apart? And will they reunite before it's too late? This sounds... Everything about that synopsis has me so excited. That just sounds so great. Cannot wait. And then we have The Christmas Pig by J.K. Rowling. Great Christmas read. Jack loves his childhood toy, Der Pig. DP has always been there for him, through the good and bad. Until one Christmas Eve, something terrible happens. DP is lost. But Christmas Eve is a night for miracles and lost causes, a night when all things can come to life, even toys. So Jack and the Christmas Pig, DP's irritating replacement, embark on a breathtaking journey through the magical land of the lost. With the help of a talking lunchbox, a brave compass, and a winged thing called Hope, they set out to rescue the best friend Jack has ever known from a terrifying toy-crunching loser. Well, very intrigued by that. Can't wait to read Closer to Christmas. And then lastly, we have 3 books that when I first glanced at their covers, I thought they were YA, but turns out they're not. So I was very excited because they sound incredible. We have Concealed by Cristina Diaz-Gonzalez. Life on the Run, Yvette, Joanna, and now Katrina. Whatever her name is, it won't last long. Katrina doesn't know any of the details about her past, but she does know that she and her parents are in the Witness Protection Program. Whenever her parents say they have to move and start over, she takes on a new identity. A new name, a new hair color, a new story. Until their location leaks and her parents disappear. Forced to embark on a dangerous rescue mission, Katrina and her new best friend Parker set out to save her parents and find out the truth about her secret past and the people that want her family dead. But every new discovery reveals that Katrina's entire life has been built around secrets covered up with lies, and that her parents were actually the ones keeping the biggest secret of all. Katrina must now decide if learning the whole truth is worth the price of losing everything she has ever believed about herself and her family. It sounds so unique and fantastic. It's The Bear House. All these covers are so shiny. By Megan McIsaac. Princess Aster and Princess Ursula are the only children of the Bear Major, High King and head of the royal house of the Hemeth Bear. Rivals, both girls dream of becoming queen someday, although neither really deserves to. Brilliant, spoiled, and difficult, they have little to recommend them. But everything changes when fire and murder come to their castle and the crown is stolen from their family. Overnight, the girls are forced onto the run, along with the half-grown grizzly Alcor, the symbol of their house, and the lowly bearkeeper Dev. As a bitter struggle for the throne consumes the kingdom in civil war, dragging every family from the House of Hounds to the House of Ox into chaos, the sisters must rely on Dev, Alcor, and each other to survive, and find wells of courage, cunning, and skill they never knew they had. That sounds so incredible. Cannot wait. And then we have one that I think is listed as YA, but several reviewers say they would even recommend it to middle grade readers because it's a clean story and it kind of reads more middle grade. So I went back and forth, but it sounded so good that I just picked it up. It's called Briar Heart by Mercedes Lackey. So even if something's YA, if they say written like middle grade or they give it to middle grade readers, I take that because I like upper middle grade. So this is a kind of fae tale. So I'll begin in the way all good fae tales should. Once upon a time. Miriam may be the daughter of Queen Alethea of Tarendale, but she's not a princess. She's the child of Althea and her deceased husband, the king's champion, and she has no ambitions of her own to rule. So when her new baby sister, Aura, is born, she's ecstatic. She adores the baby who is destined for the throne and who seems perfect in every way. But on the day of Aurora's christening, an uninvited dark fae arrives, prepared to curse her, and Miriam discovers she possesses an impossible power. Soon Miriam is charged with being trained in both magic and combat to act as the chief protector to her sister. But shadowy threats are moving closer and closer to their kingdom, and Miriam's magic may not be enough to save everyone she loves, let alone herself. So very excited for that. Alright, and that's all for this book haul. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you saw some books that look interesting to you that you might want to try. And as always, the illustrators will be listed below for all the books, like always, because I love the illustrators and they're the reason I even look at a book in the first place to even get to the synopsis. So they deserve a lot of credit and they are just phenomenal at what they do. So they will be listed below. And today's shirt is the craft. No idea if you can see this, but this is the back. So I hope you'll stick around and subscribe if you want to, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye!